Doing something different today. Let's take a little step back in time, shall we? A little history of the CB. Smells like sulfur. Is that a bad omen? It is really cool,
And many distinguished people have dined here, including 5 U.S. presidents. 1866. History here on the first floor.
One of the ladies who helped design it, or whatever, ended up in a mental institution.
That was actually the model.
We're pulling up to the General Dodge House. How do you guys feel?
A little nervous. I got butterflies, but I'm excited.
All right.
This is gonna be pretty. Oh, not the crow. Just to set the mood.
Stairs, up the stairs, up the stairs.
28 years old, Dodge sat down with Lincoln at the Pacific Hotel on his wide front porch. In response, the South called for Dodge's immediate execution if captured. Durant's coarse methods of intimidation were no match for the power and influence of Dodge's contingent. Dodge brought a cannon to a gunfight. Before the day was over, Dodge was given full authority on the routes for the Union Pacific Railroad. Ultimately, Dodge has surveyed or constructed 16 railroads in 6 countries, totaling over 63,000 miles of track.
You're fine.
A little nerve-wracking, but it's gonna be pretty cool.
It is really cool,
It's beautiful.
Look at the details and all the woodwork,
Look at how that's really cool. This is the Dutchman family items. So these are all the items.
These are original items from them. Look at that old horse.
That's really baby carriage. Look at how cute the little dresser is.
Is her wedding dress?
I think so, because I have those nice shoes.
Interesting. Oh, there's a council bus. Home fire, 1957. Worst fire to date, 14 lives lost. Lake Manawa. Either he's really little or that rabbit's really big. The haunted human squirrel cage jail. We're gonna have to check that out sometime. I think they do tours of the squirrel cage jail as well.
Squirrel cage jail.
Mm-hmm.
Little basket, nice chair.
Was a small porch on the Beersham house that had been a later addition, and about 5 years ago that they hired a contractor and he rebuilt this porch based on the original blueprint of the house.
Nice.
And the reason it's important is it really shows you what Victorians spent their time doing. You could have a lot of fun out here with a bunch of people on a nice hot day.
Yeah.
Because we're up high and we've got a breeze.
Yeah.
But they did a beautiful
They don't
job.
build things like they used to.
No,
Not
at all. So when Mr. Beersham bought his first car, interestingly enough, it was electric, and he built a garage behind the house. The problem was he had trouble seeing backing out, and he was afraid he was going to hit the house every time he backed out. So since his good friend and neighbor was an engineer, he and the general put their heads together, and in the garage on the floor is a Lazy Susan.
Oh, you
So
seen
he
it?
could turn the car on.
Wow, that's
and
awesome.
he could see to drive out.
There's a beautiful porch.
Really?
Getting a bit of a history lesson today. Historic General Dodge House. And I think it's supposed to have like a wicked history about his wife and the Black Angel. It looked like an old outlet.
porch. It's really good.
You want to turn that?
Oh, wow.
That's the doorbell.
Even the hinges. Wow.
Yeah. So I'll give you a little bit of the history here on the first floor, and then I'll send you upstairs.
Okay.
We have 2 pamphlets. This one describes all of the rooms. The late 1950s, the youngest daughter, the last surviving Dodge, passed away. In her will, she left the house and all of the family furniture to the city of Council Bluffs. The city, unfortunately, at that time did not have the means to maintain the gift and accept it, so they declined. The will then said, if that happens, the house will be sold and all the furniture auctioned off, and that's what happened. A gentleman bought the house, and he and his mother moved in, and they turned it into a boarding house. Then in the 1960s, the community by this time realizes the importance of this historic home. And they do fundraisers, and they purchase the house for the city. I've seen photos of what it looked like at that time, and it had pretty much been stripped.
Yeah.
So the community would go room by room and restore it. And every time they get a room done, everybody would come and tour that room.
Nice.
So this is a culmination of decades of that work. The house is now listed as a National Historic Landmark. And that's a little bit different than just a National Historic Registry home. There are very few national landmarks around the country, and they're important because they tell the story of the early days of our country. So we're very proud of that designation. The first room we'll go into is the library. This is the most authentic room in the house. And we have several Dodge items here. All of the books that you see belong to the Dodge family. We also have the Dodge Family Bible. And in this case, we have his commemorative rifle. It's model number 1866, and it was presented to General Dodge by the Union Pacific Railroad in honor of his serving as the chief engineer for the Transcontinental Railroad project. We see a portrait of what he looked like when he joined the Civil War effort for the Union. And at that time, he had become quite successful here in Council Bluffs. He had started a land office, he had opened a mercantile business, and he started the Council Bluffs Savings Bank. So now he's going off to war, and he tells his younger brother Nathan, who's 19 years old, you have to run the bank. So Nathan runs the bank for the rest of his life. But can you imagine a 19-year-old taking on that huge responsibility?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. The swords that you see, the one above his portrait and the one over the door, both belong to the general. The one above the portrait was ceremonial, but the one above the door was used in battle.
So he probably killed some people with that one.
Yeah. The clock on the mantle, as well as the horn candlesticks holders, belong to the family.
I was just about to say something about those.
Yeah, aren't those something?
Yeah, really neat.
I don't know what kind of animal those came from. Also, homes in the Victorian period often had solariums or sunrooms. Those were important because, remember, the house is only heated by wood fireplaces. So in the winter months, they understood the importance of southern exposure and solar warmth coming through those rooms. Also in the summer months, when it's really hot, we don't have air conditioning either. So you can open north and south windows and get a cross breeze.
Nice.
You can go out into the sunroom if you'd like.
Want to check it out?
Just watch your head.
Oh, it slides open and everything. That's nice. Nice little sunroom. Look at that old wheelchair.
That's really old.
Pretty cool, huh?
I like the curtain.
Oh, just told me that.
We're told that the general really liked the sunroom, and many distinguished people have dined here, including 5 U.S. presidents. Presidents Grant, McKinley, Theodore Roosevelt, Taft, and Harding all dined here, as well as Civil War Generals Sherman, Black, and Logan. The table, the 2 sideboards, the 8 chairs, the mahogany server, and the corner hutch are all family pieces. Here on the left is a silver tea service, and that was a gift given to their daughter Letty when she was married here in the house in 1874. The silver tea service behind the door was presented to the general by the city of St. Louis to thank him for his Civil War service. And we're told that it was a favorite of the general's. However, his wife Ruth Ann was not as fond of it. The items that belonged to the family or that were original to the house are the chandelier above our heads and the eagle mirror on this wall and the inlaid papier-mâché mother-of-pearl etagere. This always sat in this location, and on it is the Dodge family calling card tray.
How do you say that? Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, it's, let's see, mother-of-pearl, papier-mâché, mother-of-pearl inlaid etagere. Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah. So back here, in the back parlor, is, as I mentioned, where the family spent a great deal of their time. The portraits on either side of the pier mirror show you what Ruth Ann had done around the early 1870s. You'll notice that all of the furniture has rollers on it. But before you go up, I like to stop and point out this painting of Mrs. Dodge. This is Ruth Ann. I think the painter did an excellent job. And when you look at her eyes, it reminds me of what the general always said about his wife. He would tell people it wasn't her sparkling blue eyes, but the fact that she could ride a horse and shoot a gun as well as any man that won my heart. And she was very tiny. She wasn't even 5 foot.
Wow.
Yeah. This is a favorite lamp of Mrs. Dodge's. What was that? And it's called Cloisonne. And the story goes that one of her grandchildren slid down the banister and knocked it over. And it broke. Once it was repaired, to make sure it didn't happen again, she had it attached to the newel. But on your way up, the oldest item in the house is the banjo clock that you see there in the little alcove. And it was given to Ruth Ann and Grenville on their wedding day by his folks.
Wow. You ready?
So go ahead and walk around and let me know when you come down if we have any questions. I'll also take you down to the basement. When you're done up there, we have some displays and some family photos down there.
Awesome. Look at these stairs. Mrs. Dodge's bedroom. Look at that craftsmanship in the backboard.
It's in a and then that's you. Look at those shoes.
What are these?
Look at antique clothes.
Interesting.
Old dress. Another bedroom.
The old top hats. What does it say? Whose room? This is the general's den.
Very nice room. Camera.
Oh, you can see into his little room over here.
And look at how old that little AC thing is.
That's heater.
Letty and Ella would have used this room, so this would have been Letty and Ella's room. Very nice room.
Ooh, look at this one.
Hi.
The Art Nouveau.
Art Nouveau.
The stairs. Like a dance floor up here.
That one's closed.
You gotta be respectful. All this stuff is very, very old. You can't be jumping around. Do not touch.
Nice piano.
Look at this old chandelier.
Very, very nice. My shades also.
Look at this thing.
It's like a hand one.
Like a crank radio, maybe a record player or something. Don't touch nothing.
You may have noticed when you were up on the 3rd floor, right at the top of the stairs, there was a little handle on the wall. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there used to be one of those in every room of the house. And that was how you got a servant to come and help you. You would turn that handle, and the name of the room that you were in would drop down here.
Like you can talk into it from like different rooms?
It's
Oh, it's a phone?
And what you would do is, when you pick this up, there would be an operator, and she would say, "How can I help you?" And you would say the name of the person that you wanted her to call you for, and then you would talk to them. Got any ideas?
When you put on food? Yeah, like a pantry, maybe? When you put the food in?
It's the first ice box. It's a refrigerator. So the heavy blocks of ice would be put up here, and then you'd put all your food down here. And the ice would slowly melt, and there'd be a tray at the bottom to catch the water. But that would keep your milk and your food cold.
What do you think of that? No touch screen.
Behind you is the first washing machine for clothes. So originally, these floors down here would have been dirt. Several years ago, the city was replacing some cobblestone streets, and so they brought the bricks here so that we could have a nicer surface in the basement.
Nice repurpose.
Yes. Because it has the best office downtown.
Like old surveying goggles and stuff. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, there's that little alligator we seen.
Here we have pictures of the family. These are the 3 daughters, and they're about the age when they moved into the house. This is Letty, This is Eleanor, whose nickname was Ella, and this is little Anne. And then we have pictures of them later when they grew up. And we also have pictures of the general with his dogs, and he really loved animals. I think they tell you in the video he used to walk downtown with a cat on his shoulder.
Yeah.
So in January of 1916, the general dies. He had a type of cancer. And his wife, Ruth Ann, who was in New York, was so ill she couldn't come back for the funeral. So the funeral was held here in Council Bluffs, and it was the largest funeral that was ever held here. It was a full military funeral with a huge funeral procession, and they even had the riderless horse. So I like to point out this photograph. This was the day of the funeral. And in this photo, the house is sitting here, so you can't really see it. That big house there doesn't exist anymore. It was torn down, and now there's townhouses over there. But when you leave today and you go down the steps of the porch, look to your right, and in the yard you'll see the same bird bath in its same location. Here we have some Civil War memorabilia. Also, when Grenville was a surveyor, he liked to pick up rocks. Do you like to collect rocks?
Yeah, he has a huge rock collection.
I have my oldest son had a rock collection too. Well, this is the general's rock collection, and he got it from all over the country when he was surveying for the railroads. And then when he was older and he retired, he gave this whole rock collection to the City of Council Bluffs school system so that kids could take a look at all the different rocks. And while he was in the Civil War, we have some memorabilia. These two tree stumps actually have Civil War shrapnel embedded in them.
Wow.
Also, when he was injured, received a head wound at Pea Ridge, we have a photograph of the hat that he was wearing, and then the picture above the hat shows you where he had his head wound. There's a scar on top of his head. Can you see that?
Yeah, we've seen that on, well, he got shot in the head and stuff.
And at the time, word got back to his wife Ruth Ann that he had been killed in battle. Well, when his regiment heard this, they sent a courier immediately to tell her he's alive, he's in the hospital recovering, and she immediately goes and gets him and brings him home so he could recuperate.
Wow.
And then finally in this case, I think this tells you a little bit about the importance of family to General Dodge. This is his wallet. And wherever he traveled around the world, he took a picture of each one of his family members with him in his wallet. Also down below, there are moccasins and 2 tomahawks that were presented to him by Chief Sitting Bull. So that completes the tour. Do you have any questions?
No questions?
Was it fun though?
Yeah.
Seeing a house this old? Can you imagine living here? With
So many rooms
servants?
to hide.
Plenty of spawn.
Yeah, a lot of places to hide for sure.
Oh, I do have one question.
Yes.
Did the Black Angel come to the house?
Oh, do you want to know about the Black Angel? Well, have you gone up and seen her?
Yes.
Was the water running? I love it when the water's running. The Black Angel, we'll go over here and look at this picture. So the story goes that when Mrs. Dodge was very sick, her daughters came to see her. And she tells her girls, 2 nights ago I had a dream. And in the dream, I saw a boat coming toward me through the mist. And in the boat, there was an angel. And she was holding a bowl out to me, wanting me to drink. I didn't drink that first night. And do you know last night I had the same dream? And I didn't drink from the angel's bowl last night either. I think if the angel comes tonight, I might drink. So the girls, after their mother passes away, remember this dream story. So they hire a very famous man, Daniel Chester French, who did the Lincoln Monument in Washington, D.C., and he came all the way out to Council Bluffs to create the Ruth Ann Memorial Fountain, also known as the Black Angel. And it has been fully restored. They used to call it the Black Angel because over time it had oxidized, but it has since been restored and cleaned, so it doesn't look black anymore. But that's the story.
That's the original one?
That is it, yes.
Is it? Because
yes.
I don't know if it's bullcrap or not, but we watched one that said one of the ladies who helped design it or whatever ended up in a mental institution.
That was actually the model.
Was that what it was?
There was a very famous model here in the United States, and she was used because of her beautiful features for many statues.
Okay.
And yes, the story goes that she ended up in a mental institution.
Yeah, like she didn't have a visitor for 64 years or something like that?
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the story of the model.
Okay, I thought it was that, and then I know they're saying, it's cursed if you touch it, careful.
Oh, and I can remember when I was in high school many years ago, I lived over in Omaha, but a lot of us would go cruising, you know, and they would say, if you go up to the Black Angel, don't look in her eyes, because you'll die the next day.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of spooky stories.
What do you think?
Pretty cool.
See, it wasn't going to be scary, demonic.
No, it wasn't. But I
It was
will
gonna
tell
be-
you, if you do live around here, in October, right around Halloween time, they do a tour of the house at night with no lights on, only candles,
Ooh.
with homemade ice cream.
See, it wasn't that scary, was it?
No, I thought there was one of those. No, it does have ghosts. Where were they? Should we go see the carriage house up there?
Right here's where that guy was, and he was walking where he seen the ghost.
Yeah, right there.
Uh-huh. And here is the Ruth Ann Dodge Memorial with the Black Angel. Smells funny.
Yeah, it does. Pretty.
Smells like sulfur. Is that a bad omen? It is said this angel came and killed General Dodge's wife. We'll never know. He said, do not touch it or you'll be cursed forever. Right here is the Lincoln Monument, where Abraham Lincoln stood with Greenville Dodge and probably smoked a fatty and drank a few brewskis. No, just kidding.